Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't think I've done a video for 2019 yet, and I guess I should be saying Happy New Year. So Happy New Year to you and you and you and you and you. Thank you for coming back. I love to see you. I'm Doc Martin and you're watching Fearlessly Living. Okay, so this has been a long time coming. I have my phone because I have the talking points for today. I have been asked by multiple people on multiple occasions about my experience as a Caribbean medical student. So I finally found the time to answer as many of your questions as possible. And if I don't answer your question in this video, please leave a comment down below and I will try my best to get back to you at my earliest convenience. Right now I'm very busy. I haven't really talked much about my day-to-day, but I am a full-time student. I'm currently doing rotations. I have about a little less than 3 months from graduation. I have 3 part-time jobs. I'm doing a lot. And I'm still trying to have a social life. So I'm very busy and I'm trying to juggle this as well. So if I don't get a chance to answer all of your questions in this video, please ask me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But I've been taking notes and I'm going to try to cover as many of the topics and questions and concerns that you guys have when it comes to considering taking the route that I took or something similar to mine. So I'm going to do, I guess, like in part, I'm first going to start with like what even took me to the Caribbean, right? So let's see. Sorry. So I think I'm going to do a 2-part, and if this video is short enough to do everything in one video, then I'll just make it a 1-part. But for the first part, let me talk about my undergrad career. So undergrad, I always knew I wanted to be a doctor, and I always knew I wanted to go back because I'm Liberian. I don't know if you know what, since I've done this channel, I have not taken the time to talk about who I am, where I'm from, and what drives me. So that's gonna be maybe a video coming very soon, just to talk about me and what drives me and what brought me to this point in my life that I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a physician, this is why. And I have not talked about that with you guys, but I think I'm gonna find time to really do that. I think it's important just so you have a full picture of why I'm even here, why this journey is important to me. Well, anyway, for undergrad, I went to Widener University in Chester, Pennsylvania. It's a private PWI, which stands for Predominantly White Institution. There, I studied biology with focus on pre-med. During my time at Widener, my 4 years there, I was a part of the BSU. For 1 year, I was the vice president of the BSU. I became an AKA at Widener University. Okay. For my chapter, I was the second vice president. I was a part of student government. I was a treasurer for a long time. I ran for president, but then there was a little scandal. We're not going to talk about that. Pretty much there was an issue with like my advertising. Okay, so I will talk about it. There on my poster, so I had one of my friends help me with my my flyers. On my flyers, that's when this was very popular. Ham, hard as a MFer, and my poster was like, vote for Sam, Sam goes ham. And it's just to say it didn't sit well with the administration. Thinking back on it, I should have made a better decision. I didn't. I wasn't really thinking much into the acronym. I should have even spelled out the acronym for hard work and ambitious and something like that, but I didn't. I just said Sam goes ham because it was catchy and I thought it was thick. But anyway, that's aside from the point. So while in student government, I was the financial secretary. For a while, I was a part of Pride Mentoring Program at Widener University. I was a part of Big Brother, Big Sister. I did a lot of stuff on campus. And like I said, I was also a pre-med major. My I struggled a lot in undergrad with the sciences. The sciences aren't my favorite subject, and it's not that I don't struggle still. I think I've kind of learned myself and my study habits and what drives me. At this point in my life, I think I know my do's and my don'ts very well, so that kind of keeps me focused and helps me do well when it comes to exams now and classes and studying. And I think another part of it is that I'm not just memorizing material at this point at this stage in my career. I'm actually practicing what I'm studying, so it drives me. It's like, oh, I want to know how to treat this patient properly. Oh, I want to know how this disease presents itself. So when I see a patient with it, I know how to point it out and I know how to properly treat it. So I think that's what kind of drives me right now. It's like, I don't want to kill anybody and I don't want to treat anybody improperly. So that's what drives me currently. So at Widener University, I did all of these things with involvement with campus. I went to a study abroad program as well. I spent about a month in China. I was in Beijing, I was in Chongqing, we saw the pandas, things of that nature. So I did a lot at Widener, and long story short, I doubted myself a lot. And I think now I'm still kind of struggling with self-doubt, but I'm trying to power through it and I'm pushing through it. But I knew I wanted to be a physician, but I was scared of rejection. So when it came time for like taking my MCAT and applying to med school, I was kind of like, I dragged my feet a lot because I wasn't sure of myself and I knew how competitive it was. So when a lot of people were applying for medical school in like their junior year, I didn't even start studying for my MCAT till the summer of my junior year. And even then I was very like sluggish and very like, I know I need to do this, I need to hurry up and do it, but I wasn't like really into it that much. And I think honestly, like I said before, that just came from my fear of rejection, feeling like, what if I don't make it, then what? So while doing that, I had a family friend that did like a advanced nursing degree, and at whatever institution she went to, there was a poster for like a Caribbean Medical University, which is the school I ended up going to. And she told me about it, and at that time, honestly, I didn't know much about Caribbean schools. I didn't even really know they existed. I knew about St. George University because they were in one of my school's pamphlets. So I was like, oh, okay, if my school's endorsing this, then it must be a good program. But going to medical school overseas was never really crossed my mind because I didn't even know that was another path that I could take. And I think now more people know about it, but it's still very stigmatized. Like a lot of people are like, don't go to the Caribbean, you know what I mean? So even then I didn't even know it was a stigma. Like I didn't know anything about it. My one and only choice was I have to get into a U.S. medical school, or I have to get into med school. The only thing I knew, was U.S. So my family friend told me about this program. I looked into it, and then I saw a bunch of other, Caribbean medical schools that popped up, and I kind of applied to about a handful of them, not really knowing if I would get in. And I think at the time what drew me closer to them was that there wasn't an MCAT requirement. St. George University did require MCAT. Ross, I think, required an MCAT. I can't really remember. So I applied to all of them, and I got into all of them. And looking back now, it's not really surprising because all of the Caribbean schools will accept you. If you're applying to Caribbean Medical School anywhere, St. George, Ross, Caribbean Medical University, Windsor University, Washington, Xavier, you will be accepted. You will. It's not about being accepted. Honestly, I think it comes down to what the school has to offer and how you're going to pay for it. I think those are like the very two most important things that you must keep in mind when applying to school overseas is what are they offering you? And when I say what are they offering you, I mean like, do they have counseling services? Are they giving you the right resources? How are the teachers academically? Are they teaching you the right thing? Has any of your teachers taken that step, USMLE step 1, 2, or 3? How would they know how to train you properly for it? Do they have counseling services? Are they telling you what, you know what I mean? Those are the things that you need to look for. And when it comes to the second thing that I mentioned was how are you going to pay for it? Are you paying out of pocket or you need loans? Is your school covered by federal loans, government loans, U.S. loans. Where do you live? Do you live in the U.S. or do you live in Canada? Do you live in Africa even? These are things that you have to take into consideration when you're applying to schools overseas, med schools overseas. So I'm saying this to you now, but this wasn't even in my thought process when it came to applying. Honestly, it was really just God that I'm very spiritual, so I'm sorry if this rubbed you the wrong way, but I think it was just God that was ordering my steps, because I went into this blindly. Looking back now, there are so many questions that I should have asked that I didn't ask, and I'm going to mention those questions to you here in this video, so that when you do start to do your own research on in Caribbean schools or just schools overseas, there are schools in Russia even. Once you start doing your research into these schools, I want you to ask these questions, and hopefully you get answers. And hopefully this would narrow you down to your top 3 or top 2, so that you're not going into the situation like I did. Like, I went into it completely blind, not fully understanding what I was getting myself into. So I applied to these schools, and of course I got accepted into all of them. Now the fact was, how was I going to pay? I declined St. George University because at the time, if I'm remembering properly, they were charging $25,000 per semester, and they were trimesters. So I would have been paying $75,000 out of pocket a year. My parents couldn't afford that. I couldn't afford that. I still had student loans from undergrad that I was paying. So I knew I couldn't go to St. George University. So I ended up choosing my school. Why? Because at the time, I believe they were charging $8,000 a semester. That's a huge jump from $25,000. That was like my driving force to picking my school. And another thing was, I was naive in thinking that because this was a medical school, it will come with everything that I needed to succeed. It will come with the proper teachers. It will come with the proper resources. They would properly orientate me to what it would be like to be a medical student, what resources I needed, what I needed to know, how I needed to study, what I was studying for. I didn't even know about the USMLE. The USMLE stands for United States Medical Licensing Exam. Pretty much there are 4 exams that you have to take. There's step 1, there's step 2 CK, there's step 2 CS, and there's step 3, which people usually take during their time in residency. I had no idea about that. I didn't know about first aid. First aid, I found out about my first week on the island. I didn't know about UWorld. UWorld is a Q bank that pretty much all medical students use, US and abroad. I didn't find out about UWorld until my second semester on the island even. So there were like so many things that I didn't know about, and it's like, and I didn't find these things out from my school. I found it out from other students, just talking to people. And looking back now, it's kind of upsetting, because I felt like this is something that they should have told me on the first day. Like, hi, welcome to our school, blah, blah, blah. You will need to get a first aid. You need to get a subscription to UWorld. You'll be studying for the USMLE. This is what they look for in the USMLE. These are things that you need to know. This is how I suggest you study for it. But the orientation was more like, this is a nice island. Enjoy the island. Don't mess up. Good luck. That was kind of what the orientation was like. So I chose Caribbean Medical University, and I remember when my parents and my sister, who I love so much, I think she's my favorite person in the whole world, they dropped me off at Philadelphia International Airport, and I remember I was so terrified. I'm thinking to myself, what if this school doesn't exist? You guys are sending me to this island. I have a round trip ticket, and my return flight is for December. I think I went in September. So God forbid this place doesn't exist. I have to find money to fly back home, or I have to find somewhere to live for 3 months. I was scared. I got on the plane, and I got there. On the plane, I met a few people that were also going to my school. So I was like, okay, I'm not alone. There are some people here. We got there, and we were waiting for the bus to pick us up. And again, I'm thinking, what if they don't pick us up? And I don't have service on this island. I don't have coverage. I don't have, like, how do I get in contact with them? And I think I got there on a Saturday night. And they did pick us up. And now where I was staying, my dormitory was not a dorm. It was a hotel. So I think the school had a contract with this hotel. So there was one part that was an actual hotel, and there was another part that they used as dorm, which was a hotel. So they put us in there, checked in, they put me into my dorm. It was filthy. And if you know anything about me, is I have OCPD, obsessive compulsive personality disorder. I like things to be in order. Like, I literally, when I leave my house, my bed is made, my kitchen is cleaned, my bathroom is cleaned. I don't like things out of order. I sound a little crazy, but I'm not. I have it under control. Long story short, if something is dirty, I'll itch. It was dirty. And I'm so happy I went to that island with sheets. I didn't go with blankets, but I went with my own sheets. So I removed whatever they had on the bed, and I wrapped myself up in my sheets. It was freezing in those rooms. We couldn't open the windows. There was a huge mold problem. I don't think I have enough video to tell you exactly how it was my first couple of days on this island. I hated it. I think I cried myself to sleep that night. And the next day I woke up, I remember it was Sunday morning. I spent my entire Sunday morning literally cleaning the room from top to bottom. I washed the walls with bleach. Just to feel comfortable there. Just to feel at home there. Just to feel like I could put my clothes on this couch and I won't itch once it touches my body because I know that I cleaned it. So that was my first night and my first day. After I was done doing that, I was like, let me just walk around the campus a little bit. It wasn't even a real campus. Like, our school was a part of this building in their, what was it called? It was like their town. It was a part of a public government building or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that's where our school was. So I was walking around, I saw two people, and they were just kind of talking. I'm like, hey, are you new here? I was like, yeah, I just started, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, do you have first aid? And I'm thinking to myself, like, I brought a first aid kit, but why are they asking me about this? Like, is there something I need to be worried about? Why would they remind me to have one? But they weren't talking about a first aid kit. They were talking about a book, the first aid book, which a lot of people used to study for the USMLE. I had no idea. That was the first time I found out about first aid. So these are just my first 2 days on the island. Long story short, my first semester there was not good for me. I struggled. I literally cried like many of the days. I felt like I wasn't doing well. I felt like I was going to fail out. I didn't. I struggled through it. I made it through. Resources on the island. There were a few good teachers. A handful. A lot of them weren't. A lot of them didn't even take USMLE. So they didn't even know exactly what to even tell us to expect. A lot of it was like a lot of minor detail that USMLE didn't focus on. It was kind of a joke. There were people there that would talk in the entire class. Come on. Our anatomy lab, we had one cadaver, and my class was kind of big. I think we had like 60 students. One cadaver for 60 students. Like, people were like standing in the back like, what is he pointing to? What is that nerve? Because we couldn't see. What else? Administration, they tried their best, but they were kind of slow. But then again, it was an island. Everyone was on island time. I wasn't used to this. I struggled with settling in and just kind of letting things happen, because I felt, coming from the institution that I came from, I was used to things being done in a timely manner and things being done in a certain way. That entire thing was flipped upside down. I didn't take any food with me on the island, so I kind of just, I had like cash, and I had my credit card that I could use with no international fees attached, so I used that credit card a lot. I met one of my best friends right now the first couple weeks there, and we've been tight ever since. I don't know what else, what else would you guys want to know about the island? Let me see what questions I wrote down. How confident were you in your education? I wasn't very confident in what I was learning. Honestly, if I would have any advice for anyone going in, make sure you buy USMLE World. Make sure you buy First Aid for USMLE Step 1. Start studying that from jump. Once you study that, you'll be able to pass your classes. You know what I mean? You'll be prepared for Step 1. Like, I didn't even start studying for Step 1 until I left the island. Like, really started studying for Step 1. While I was there, I was studying to pass my classes. And because the semesters were so short, I felt like I was cramming everything in just to pass my exams, and then probably forget everything and then study for the next couple semesters. That's what I felt like I was doing. How was the island? How were the natives? The island was beautiful. The water, oh my god, the waves. I would run all the time along the beach. It was very nice. There were a lot of mosquitoes. They never bothered me. A lot of people got sick. There was this virus going around called chikungunya. It got a lot of people, but it didn't bother me. Mosquitoes really didn't bother me much, actually. So I ran all the time across along the water and things of that nature. The natives were very nice. Like, we partied a few times on the island, and everyone was very nice. Like, although I was always skeptical because they spoke many languages, and I was like, because I didn't come here to be kidnapped. Like, my parents didn't send me to this island to be kidnapped, so I'm not fooling with y'all like that. That was me. If I ever went out, I was always with somebody or in a group, but I never really. A lot of people really like went in and dug deep and they had like close friends with the natives. That just wasn't me because I'm skeptical of a lot of things. I'm just like, no. Like, you let's speak at least like 3 to 4 languages. Because you could be talking about something. You could speak 3 different languages in one sentence and I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm good. But they were very nice apart from that. The island was nice. It was like a tourist island, so a lot of times we'll have like cruise ships come in and people come with the cruise ships. There was a Starbucks, there was a movie theater, there was what they call a floating market where they had like fresh fruits, they had like food, fish, I mean all kinds of things in this floating market, and everything was fresh. So I would usually go there on Saturdays and buy food for the week, and I would cook. And this wasn't my first semester. My first semester where I lived, I didn't have a kitchen area, so I got a rice cooker, and you will believe it or not, I fried plantain in that rice cooker. I made pasta in that rice cooker. Oh yeah, I also made rice in the rice cooker. You do what you gotta do. But my second semester, my friend and I, we ended up moving to another dorm which had a kitchen in it, so I was fine. That's when I went to the floating market a lot and bought food for the week. What else? Is there something you wish you knew before going in? Before going in, I wish I knew what resources I needed. I wish I knew about these exams. I wish somebody told me, ultimately, you're studying to pass your board exams. And when I've spoken to some directors and I've spoken to other people, and a lot of times I've heard residential directors say a lot, I don't know your school that you went to overseas. I know a U.S. school. I know the curriculum. I know what they expect from their students. I know what they learn. So if they get an A in the class, I know what that A is. If a Caribbean or international student get an A, they don't really know how to weigh that A, because I could have paid $5 to my teacher to give me an A. You know what I mean? So I'm saying this to say that ultimately the great equalizer is the USMLE, which US students take, international students take. Everyone takes this exam, and it's the great equalizer because that pretty much tells you if you have learned enough compared to what the US students have learned. You know what I mean? So now they're able to see, okay, you have the knowledge, same as the system that we're used to here. And so when you're studying on the island or wherever you go, keep that in the back of your mind. Ultimately, you're doing this to pass your board exams, because these test scores are what are going to get your residency, and that's what you want. That's the end goal, to get a residency and to be a physician in the United States. So keep that in mind. I wish that was something that I knew going into the island. What advice you guys are interested in this path? What advice would I give you? Like I said in the beginning of this video, number one, what do you want from your school? What things do you want them to provide you with? Do you want a counseling service? Do you want small classrooms? Do you want professors that have taken the board exam so they know how to teach you? Do you want a system that provides you with the resources that you need, like first aid and UWorld? Look into those things. Another thing is that's very important is how are you going to be paying for your education? Are you paying out of pocket? Do you need loans? Look at institutions that provide these resources for you. And also, are you in the US? Are you in Canada? Are you in Africa? If you're in these places, I know a lot of Canadian students, they're able to get loan. I forget what a friend told me the name of the loans. I can't remember now, but they're able to get loans to pay for school. My school doesn't offer FAFSA. They had this thing called MedLoan for a while that a lot of people use, but now it's no longer in place. So people are having to pay out of pocket. Personally, I'm truly blessed because my parents are able to pay for me. So that's how I've been surviving. But definitely look into what you want from the institution and how you're going to be paying for your education. Those are very two important things that I think you need to look into when going overseas. I don't know what else I wish I would have known. And I wish, oh, this is another thing. Before I left for the island, I packed like 3 big boxes of my personal items, like body wash, lotion, deodorant, certain things that I like to use, my hair products and things like that. I boxed them up and I shipped it to the island before I left. 2-3 weeks before I left. My stuff didn't come until like a month and a half after I got there. So everything is truly slow on the island. So that's something you can look into too. I had another friend that went to a different island. Her stuff got there when she got there. So that's something you can ask about as well. I don't know what else I missed. There was no MCAT requirement because our major, my major was pre-med. I had done all my science classes, so I didn't have to do any prerequisites. There were people that did pre-med on the island, so they offered that, and those people took like chemistries, the organic chemistries, the what is the other P? Physics. Oh my god. Chemistry, physics, organic chem, medical terminology, biology. They took all of those pre-med requisites on the island. Those people that didn't have it, but I didn't have to do that because I already had a degree in biology and I had already done them on prereqs at a university. Island for about 2 years. They're trimesters, so I had 4 semesters on the island. It was MD1, MD2, MD3. I got to the island in September to December, that was 1 semester. January to March was 1 semester. May, I can't remember. It was like 3 months. The semester was like 3 months. They were trimesters. I hope I answered all of your questions. Again, if I missed something and I didn't get to your truly burning questions, please leave your questions and comments down below in the comment section, and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. I'm very busy. I have a lot going on. Please bear with me, but I will get back to you. Okay? And so this is part 1 of the life as a Caribbean medical student, and this part is my life on the island, and the second part would be life as a Caribbean medical student, my life during clinical rotations, and I'm in Chicago right now. So again, thank you so much for watching my video. I love your support. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming back after each and every video. I love to see you in all of them. Yeah, this has been great, and I hope this video has been helpful. If it has not, again, let me know what you want to hear, and I'll try my best to bring that to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Dr. Martin, and once again, and you've been watching Fearlessly Living. Bye-bye.